the dominant culture taught you your language, your religion, and history. But this same dominant culture is very inquisitive and likes to go to different parts of the world, and they like archaeology. And what if in the archaeology they find artifacts, and according to their science, they're not supposed to have this because it's very old, and this knowledge of how to is something that came about maybe 100 years ago. Like scientists, they found these instruments, gynecological instruments, that is very precision orientated. They also found a sculpture, and inside the sculpture it had this little round ball and something that made noise. And so the scientists had it x-rayed and they saw something inside of it. He then passes it on to someone else, another scientist. According to my understanding, that second scientist opened up the sculpture and retrieved a little round cylinder. And this cylinder, it was discovered, was made out of this steel that was developed in Germany in the early 1900s. But this statue is very, very, very old. All these things. And so some of them even had things that looked like planes, other craft, submarines, that was developed again not too long ago. And then they tried to disqualify the scientists who found it. And it seems like there's a suppression of information. So, what this leads me to believe is, for one, why is the dominant culture dominant? Why is it suppressing information? And if they're true scientists, why would they want this held? The only conclusion that I can get out of all this is that they know history and that they are newcomers, but they're here to gather information. Secondly, when you are able to manipulate history and make people believe in a false history, then you're able to create a new history for them that gives them so-called the right of primacy over others. And maybe that's the name of the game. If you can create their reality, and when they realize, other people realize who they are, then they may fight back, these other people. They will fight back because of the lies. The whole foundation of what they believe is a complete lie. Also, with supremacy, then if you're perceived as being first, then you can claim other things. You can claim everything. It's like you crown everything. You could crown all the continents and claim it. But when you see other evidence that someone before you was there, then you're not precedent over it, and that other person in natural law could claim it because their signature, so to speak, is on that particular domain. And so that's why they want to suppress this new awareness of these artifacts and the truth behind these old artifacts. It will expose the dominant culture that they're not first, and that there is someone who has claim over all these domains. So we have thieves among us, and the thieves that are trying to control and they want to gather as much information, and then what I think is that they want to leave. Every thief wants to gather as much as they can, but they know they can't stay there forever unless they, one, exterminate you, or bind you and then they leave. You take your pick. They want to leave eventually. They will be leaving eventually if they don't destroy you. See, one thing with history, with truth, that it eventually is revealed. What do you do with the truth when it's revealed to you? That's the big question. So this is just food for thought. Take care, guys.